Hello, right, it is now 21 minutes past midnight on Saturday the 6th, which is when I'm going to UK Games Expo, which is why I'm making this video. I've just come home from a killer session of Call of Cthulhu which I ran, and I do emphasise the word killer quite a lot. Everybody died, which is always a great way of ending a Cthulhu campaign. And then they came back to life again, which was a weird way of keeping it going. It's a very weird scenario I might talk about one day. But suffice to say, I'm really tired. I've got to make sure I go to sleep. I've got at least 6 hours sleep ahead of me. And I've got to be up and I've got to do a lot of travelling. It's now 10:17. I'm actually at the convention. I had to catch a taxi because it was raining. Living Dungeons is about to start. It's going to be a lot of fun. I'm going to take lots of images. Hello! I'm going to show you lots of stuff. Okay, now to start what I'd like to consider to be a tradition for the channel. Those of you who have been on this channel before in the past or have gone through my past archives will know that I did something similar to this last year, which is a walk around UK Games Expo. I did this right at the end of the convention just before my taxi arrived, and there are some of the lovely stormtroopers that were hanging around. Those guys, I can't remember the name of their organisation. I'm sure if I can think of it I'll put it around somewhere, probably in the side notes. Did some fantastic work with the cosplay and things like that. So, on to Zone 1, which is primarily a war game thing, although when I say primarily, I mean that these zones do bleed into each other quite successfully. I mean, there's alchemy, for example. So they're gothic wares for gamers, and being manned by some very attractive ladies in some very short PVC skirts. So very happy about that. Sorry, no footage. That would be pervy. Right. So you've got some book vendors and some board game vendors at this point, and this is the bit where I get accosted by a clone trooper. I couldn't point them out in a lineup. They all look the same. So looking around, there's quite a lot going on in this area. As always, the middle is reserved for demonstration games, and I did spot some miniatures off to one side. Now, I'm not a big war gamer myself. I used to be mad about it. I've got a Space Marine army which is almost finished, and I've got an Imperial Guard army which is just started, and an Empire army which needs gluing, and I do have a Cador army which also needs gluing and painting, so I really need to get back into that in a big way. But up until that point, I'm happy to look at the models because they look gorgeous. I love playing other people's games. The Infinity range, by the way, is fantastic. I can't remember who makes it, but their miniatures are some fantastic sci-fi anime-esque miniatures, and I've seen them adapted very well to other settings. So yes, there's quite a lot of vendors. You'll tend to find this at a lot of conventions. You'll get a lot of vendors. It's very rare that you will find only one vendor selling one type of goods. For example, Privateer Press, who make war machines, are making a big display today. And they also have lots of other vendors competing with them, selling the exact same stuff. Now, can't remember that guy's name, but he made a fantastic chess war game, which I played. It was great fun. And when I get my hands on it, I will be reviewing it. Now, this is Zone 2, which is primarily a board game area, but there is more war games that bleed into this. And I hope you can't hear that in the background, because there's some people outside with very noisy motorbikes. And this is where I played Snow Trails for the first time, which actually won the, if I remember rightly, the UK Game Expo Best Board Game of the Year award, which was voted by the attendees, myself included. And I agree, it is the best board game I've played in a long time. It is very fun, very addictive, very high action. Basically, it's bobsled racing, which may sound like a quite boring concept in itself, but makes for a very, very good game. So, that's us leaving zone, bled back into zone 1, that's zone 2, which I've just already been in, so on to zone 3, which is, it's always been a weird one, this one. You've got your Daleks, and you've got your Doctor Who, and you've got your card games off to your left, and you've always got this D&D demonstration game here. I don't know if this was here in year 1, but it's been here for the past 2 years. There's also some artists in the background, which I'm not quite sure if you can see, selling their wares, as it were. I really wish I could afford to actually pay one of those artists to do a custom piece for me. Maybe it's something I can save up for. Zone 5, by the way, which I do not have footage of, is where all the RPGs are played, but I didn't play any RPGs this year, with the exception of the Living Dungeon itself, which was fantastic. I really, really enjoyed that, met a lot of great people, and the honest truth is, you can go into that place by yourself and meet 5 other complete strangers and still have a good time. And there's the old bill. Once again, proving that the police, as well as everyone else, do enjoy this sort of thing. Now, I'm not sure if they were ever called for any trouble. I doubt there was any. Triple Ace Games. And Dave Blue, who I owe a massive apology to. More on that later. And this is where all the role-playing stuff was. There's leisure games off to the left. There's, you don't quite see it, just at the back there's Yog Radio there. There's also some other bits and bobs, other vendors in there. But there's a lot of role-playing going on in that room. Not being played, but being sold. Right, and there's a Tolkien Society, which I'm going to have to look into because it does look quite interesting, and I know a lot of my friends are heavily into their Tolkien. So upstairs, now this should be new to those of you. Zone 7, by the way, is the tournament area, which I did not go into because I wasn't in any tournaments. But no, there we go. There's it upper. There's a view of Zone 3 from above with Doctor Who. They're very good Doctor Who impersonator, and there's a very good Rose impersonator as well. Lots of people getting their photos taken with Daleks, things like that, which is why I need to bring somebody to hold the camera for me so I can get my picture of Doctor Who in the TARDIS or out the TARDIS. I don't care, as long as it's Doctor Who. Okay, so on to, now this isn't really named per se. Push. This is basically the computer and PC area. Basically, the guy who arranged this had brought pretty much every Sega system throughout the ages along with him, along with the PC as well. Now, there's all the that's all the free play area, just tables left aside so people can play games on them. It was always full. I mean, this is being filmed like half an hour before the convention closes, and people are still playing games. There is, I think that was a Saturn, or it could be a Dreamcast. Oh, it was a Dreamcast. Playing Crazy Taxi. There's a Genesis there, or Mega Drive as it should be called, really. And there's a lot of war game stuff up here as well. There was also some other vendors up here as well. I do apologise because I'm quite fickle. I don't look at everything because I take a quick glance and decide there and then if I want to actually look at it, read it, play it, whatever. Now this looked amazing. I didn't have time to play this. This was some kind of customised 40k-esque game using a lot of third-party models, and it looked like a lot of fun, and I'm ashamed that I didn't get to play that because the bits I saw looked hilariously funny. And some more vendors in here, more board games, more role-playing games, more war games, more primarily, a couple of board games. And there is also the Bring and Buy around here somewhere, which, to my eternal shame... Oh, what's this game? I can't remember what this game's called now, but it looks so amazing. No, to my eternal shame, the Bring and Buy I completely forgot to go to until the last half hour, which is when I was filming this. So I picked up an old copy of Warpstone, which I was quite chuffed with. Oh, actually several copies of Warpstone, if memory serves. But either way, fantastic day. People packing away because the convention's nearly over. Greetings. It's now 10 to 5. I'm outside the Strathan Hotel, which is right next to the convention centre. It's where my taxi's going to be, because it's a lot easier to point this building out than it is the convention centre itself. You're more likely to know where it is, and it's very easy to get to. It's way too noisy out here to do a video more than a couple of minutes, so you know, But overall, I've enjoyed myself so far. I've got a 2-hour journey home now, so yay. More later.
As the day is going, waking up on a Sunday morning. Right.